What's up, everybody? What's up? I'm here to talk to y'all about the untold story of Steve Mcnair. I got a lot of questions about this. And I also have a guest with me today. And I hope we can get a good conversation popping with this with Steve Mcnair's story, because to me it has a lot of questions with it. What's up, Taurian? How are you?
What's going on? How are you doing?
Thank you for coming through.
No problem.
Yeah, I ain't even got my stuff set up, but we here. What was your thoughts on this? I feel like we're not getting a complete story with this.
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, when this happened, I almost forgot about it because this happened literally a week after Michael Jackson had died.
Exactly.
So everything after that got overshadowed like a lot. It's almost like, for this, it was almost like a blip on the radar. Of course, if he was dead, like in that town, they stayed talking about it, and if you were a fan, it got heavily talked about it. But I had to like really reprogram myself to remember what happened, because again, it got overshadowed. It literally happened a week later, and it happened on the 4th at that.
Yep, that's exactly why it was overshadowed, because it happened on 4th of July weekend, or actually on the day.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just taken aback because with Michael Jackson, it was on the heels of that also.
Mm-hmm.
This was back in 2009 when this happened, everybody. Let me see who's here. We got Denise, Nisi, Scales, how you doing? Derry B, the Suburbia Jones Effect, Jada Informant, and Rashandra Greer. Thank you guys for coming through.
Some of the people I recognize from my channel, I made sure to post it up in my Discord as well.
Okay, that's where I forgot to post it.
I got
it. Thank you. Hey, Tamika. So yeah, she's in the chat today. So hold on one second. I forgot to take my little screen protector off.
What's going on? What's going on to everybody in the chat?
Okay, now I'm clear, but I don't look glossy. Yeah, so I didn't take that many screenshots, but I did take things that to me that pointed out key things, key factors in it. Jeff Fisher, I like the way that he did do this, because he wanted him to be remembered not by this crime, but by all that he's accomplished in the NFL.
Yeah, and I like that they did they didn't focus solely on what happened to him. They also went back to his college days, and also when he got drafted into NFL, when they went to what used to be the Houston Oilers, but then they moved and became the Tennessee Titans, and how this, in their first year, they went to the Super Bowl. Unfortunately, they didn't win, but that's amazing for a first-year franchise team to make it all the way to the Super Bowl. And, Steve McNair and Eddie George, had a huge part in why they made it that far. And it's crazy. I vaguely remember that season. I was still very young, because that was in 2000. So I was like 10 going on 11 when they went to when they went to the Super Bowl. But yeah, it was a big deal, because I remember my mother, she was at the time, she was a fan of the Titans, mainly because she liked the coach.
And because he was from the Eagles before that. I mean, I follow football a little bit just from having an older brother. So he started out like his whole coaching thing, him coaching on his own, started with the Eagles. So yeah, we got a little bit of history of his career, and I thought that was a good take on it, and it basically walked us through this thing gradually, and that's what I appreciated about that.
Yeah.
What was your thoughts on the detective and everybody? I know it seems like they were shocked to find Mcnair where he was. Like
this detective was putting in some serious leg work.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, he was going around getting all the interviews. Like when, like it's like everywhere. He made sure he had that tape recorder on deck with him. It was like glued to the hip. He made sure he went everywhere to cover all his bases and interview all those people. I mean, like people at her job, because the woman that Steve Mcnair was with, she worked at Dave and Buster's, and he interviewed as many people as he possibly could. He talked to the ex-boyfriend. I mean, this guy was putting in some serious leg work with this case.
Exactly. He did put in serious leg work, and they were, I guess, because he had eyes on this case too, TAUREAN. Yeah. It was big wigs coming down here because of who Steve Mcnair was.
Mm-hmm.
So being that even though this was and also it was a small town.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that played a lot in it too. What was your take on this is it's Wayne Neely and Robert Gaddy. I have question marks for the both of them, especially Wayne Neely.
Wayne Neely, he was the one that found him, right?
Yeah, he was the one that found him and left the scene and then called town.
Yeah. So he was the one that went to the house and he found Steve and the young lady there, both deceased, and he did leave and he called him. I thought that was kind of strange. Like, why wouldn't you immediately call the police? Like, that would have been my initial thing, would to be called the police. I would not think to call anybody else in that moment right there. I know it's going to be like an initial shock because nobody expects to walk into someone's home and see that. Like, that's not something you would expect to like see every day. But still, I would not have called somebody else.
That's what I thought. I thought this was weird, and this is when I was just like, something don't seem right to me with this.
And the other one, he was the one. I remember that was the one with the $13,000, right?
Yes, Gaddy is the one with the 13,000. But you know what got me with him with Wayne Neely? The money thing. When he tried to hand the detective the money, I was like, "How you trying to buy your way out of this? You had an unregistered pow in your car. You left the scene. It's just right there. I had questions about that.
Yeah, something was a little bit shaky about that. I do agree.
I did put up a poll. If you scroll up to the top, tonight's poll question. This is with this case, and I hope I didn't get no typos in this. Don't mind me. It's just like I'll be trying to act like I don't need glasses sometimes, and I really do. Anywho, yeah. Do you feel like this case is solved? I don't. I feel like it's open holes in it. So scroll up to the top, guys, and cast your vote, please. Okay. Now I removed it from us. Yeah, so I when he was given the whole thing and he just wanted to be like, I don't want to be a part of this. You know, he called it a cat house, so it seemed like he set him up. He told him to buy a place there because it's not like, I don't know how long he retired. They came there in 2009. So yeah, he knows his way around the area about now.
Yeah.
So, and I think he got mixed up with some shady people.
It could be possible. I also thought something was interesting too. Well, I don't want to, as you say, put my track shoes on because we haven't got into that part yet.
We all over with this. Okay. Because I wanted to talk about Big Gaddy. I had a problem with him too because of the whole thing with the money.
Yeah, apparently it was some issue because I think then they had like a restaurant.
Yeah, they had a restaurant together.
And it was an issue. It was an issue going on with like $13,000, and apparently they got into some kind of a feud about that. And he even said when he was being interviewed that he felt like if it wasn't because of that, he probably would still be alive. Like there could have been something there. like there could have been a line of communication open between the both, because it seemed like it got so bad that they just wasn't talking to each other for a while. You know how that goes with money.
That's not. He's gonna tell me Typo is my middle name. I got thrown up. I'm sorry. Yeah. So I you know what I think with that whole thing with the money, that's not the first time he stole from him. I don't think. It's just too many questions with it, and what was your thoughts about this girl he was messing with? Sally.
Well, first off, I said, she's 20. I was like, she's very, very young. She's just getting out of that teen phase, and now she's in her just getting to 20. And you know, they brought up Steve's age, and Steve was 36. So you're talking a 16-year age difference. You're talking almost 2 generations apart, you know, from each other. So I thought that was kind of, you know, like strange right there. Then they did a little bit of her backstory, because they said she's from Iran.
Yep. Do you think it would be a culture difference with them too as well, or no?
Definitely. Okay. And then on top of that, like I said, look at the age difference. He's 36. She's 20. So she's at that point in her life where she wants to party. She wants to go out. She wants to go out and have fun. I mean, we saw that she got arrested. So, yeah, I think like it was something. It was definitely, you know, I think she was there for something that Steve wasn't trying to do. Basically, he knew what her position was. She didn't know what her position was, because she probably thought she was going to be more than just the side chick. But Steve knew
that. She thought that too, and she thought she was going to be the only side piece too. Because
remember, they was talking about how, because remember, Steve at the time was still married. You know, he was still married to his wife. And they had 3 kids, 3 sons together. And she mentioned about how he told her he was going to get a divorce from her. Remember, also, that truck that they have was in both of their names.
Yep.
Of course, he probably spent most of the money on it, but you know, it was in both of their names.
Yeah, it's just a lot of questions with this. And I think things hit the fan when she got the DUI. Yeah, because that was the DUI was 2 days before the the whole issue.
Yeah,
but it could have been used as timing too, though.
Yeah, also too, because wasn't he with her? Like I think she was driving and he was in the passenger seat.
Yeah, he was with her. He was with her. And that's him getting out right there.
That's him right there.
They come away from the scene. Somebody came. He got somebody to come there, and they came and picked him up.
Remember, they was having a conversation on the phone too. Like he was saying something about along the lines of "Don't tell them anything" or something like that.
I got that part.
Yeah.
Where he like, she says, I'm about to go to jail. And he was like, "Don't tell him anything." And also, baby, that's what she said.
And also, remember, one of the people they were talking to said that their relationship was not private by any means. They said they were very public with their relationships. Like they was out and about, going on
trips together.
Yeah, like it was like they weren't sneaking around at all.
No, it was like he had his own separate life outside once he walked outside of his house.
Yeah.
So he was living a double life.
And I think also another thing that kind of pissed her off too was when they also found out that the side chick wasn't the only chick, because apparently they pulled up some messages with him messing with multiple women.
Exactly.
And that's what they believe.
That trash can too.
And that's what they believe led to her, going off the way that she did, was that part. You're muted, Moochie.
I know girls confide in they homegirls a lot, but these was the red flags I was seeing with this. Like with him especially.
The ex-boyfriend.
Because we didn't talk about him.
Yeah, he's the ex-boyfriend of
because of her.
Sahil, is that her name? Sahil?
Yeah, but then her name was, she liked to be called Jenny.
Called Jenny. Yeah, that's what she went by. She went by Jenny.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, but he's the ex-boyfriend of her, and he said that he was a huge fan of Steve McNair. And I said, you know what? The scenario that he laid out, do you know how pissed anyone would be finding out that your girlfriend who works at Dave & Buster's told you that your favorite football player came into your establishment, came into your restaurant, and gave you their number?
Mm-hmm.
And she practically ran off with your favorite football player.
Mm-hmm.
So now I can see
didn't
why
even get him an autograph.
And didn't get him the autograph like he had wanted.
Didn't get him no autograph. And they still living in the house, the same apartment.
Because they still had the picture.
She's on the lease.
On the lease, yep. But not sleeping in the same room.
So they just passing 2 ships in the night. So he like, you really gonna live a single life in front of me?
They're just basically roommates.
Yes. He said, you gonna really live this single life in front of me? I still find him weird with this. You know what else?
I can see why they would actually go to him, because usually when you have situations like this, one of the first things they do is they go after the boyfriend or the spouse.
Exactly.
Situation like this.
And I agree, but I just think what made them want to question him was this post that he did the day before.
Oh yeah.
Because this was the last. He's saying he did this months ago. He was like, nah, I did that months ago. But it's showing your last login on July 5th. And that's the day after they passed away.
Mm-hmm. He said, never let anything or anyone become between us.
Yeah, hold up. I don't know why it's not stopping like I wanted to. There we go.
He said, never let anything or anyone come in between you and the one you love, because when you do, you lose everything. See, and that's crazy when I'm looking at this. Is this what social media is? This is MySpace.
This is MySpace. So this is how. Now let me ask you this exactly. You know what I wanted to ask you?
What's that?
If this crime happened in this time, it couldn't. This type of crime couldn't happen now with social media.
Oh no, because social media has moved more advanced. Like, and I was looking at that, I said, this looks like MySpace, and sure enough,
that's what it is.
It is MySpace, and then when you look at it, look at where it says next to mood, conflicted.
So that's why
I didn't pick that up when I first saw it.
Is that a red flag for you now that you've seen it this way?
It does look real. It does look really suspicious.
Thank you. I said, we gonna talk about some things because I don't know. My little detective ears is on right now, and hold on, I'm gonna remove this real quick so we can see this. Steve was well loved in Houston by the fans, but it's well known in Houston that he was cheating on his wife with the kids way before he got traded. Wow. Hey, Joycelyn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so he was just out there, and she seemed like she just was living like, you know how he do what he do when he outside. You know how some wives be complacent like that with it.
Yeah, because they did show his wife, but I can understand why she wouldn't want to be interviewed though. But they did show her like in some of the clips, like when they was at the parades or on the field with their kids and everything like that. I'm almost certain she knew what was going on, but she played her position.
I think so too. I think she like at this point, I'm here for the children and the money.
And I knew, you know what's so interesting? It was good of them not to interview or try to get her as a person of interest, even though they could have easily did it. But the thing is, if she was going to go and do something, she would have did it before he got to her.
Yup. And she don't even know nothing. It seemed like she didn't know about anything as far as them leaving together, because he wasn't going to leave with this girl.
Nah.
He was just having fun with her.
Yeah, but like I said, in her 20-year-old mind, she saw it as something else, because of course, like he was telling her all the right things, all the things that she wanted to hear, but he knew it was some BS. But he knew she would fall for it because she's young and she's impressionable.
Yes.
After all, this woman left her ex-boyfriend to go be with him, so he knew he had her hook, line, and sinker. If she would do that, then it's gonna be easy to manipulate her.
Okay, so you saying it's almost like Cooley High when Coach Cheese and Preach had an argument right before Coach Cheese was unalive by Stone and Robert. It could just be a coincidence. Okay, so you saying with the whole thing with Gaddy, he's saying that happens to be a coincidence that they was arguing over the money, and he did seem torn up about it, and he was the one that did call the police.
Yeah, he literally broke down when he was being interviewed, like he could barely speak.
Mm-hmm. His pictures, you know what? This thing be making me sick because I know I added that picture where he had the LSU stuff, because he seemed like even if he did, if something happened, I wonder why the other guy didn't go on camera.
Which one?
What's his name? Mealy.
Oh, Wayne Neely?
The one that left. Wayne Neely, the one that left the place.
Mm-hmm.
Him.
Maybe they I don't know, they reached out to him and they probably he didn't do it.
I don't know. I still got some type of feelings about him with this money.
Mm-hmm.
With this whole thing with the money. So
yeah.
that's the red flag for me. If you ain't do nothing wrong and you know you had a unlicensed hammer,
mm-hmm.
why are you trying to pay the police off? And why wasn't this investigated more? How was he able to walk away on this? You look, I'm asking you.
Hey, listen, like you said, you going down the rabbit hole today.
I want to. I just feel like something's not right with the small town.
I think when it got to the thing with the firearm, that's probably what removed him. Because that firearm part, that one took me for a loop, literally.
The girl buying it a couple. Jenny buying it a couple of days before everything happened.
Yeah, but like how it moved hands is what really got me before it got to her.
Thank you. You saw the other guy, right?
Yeah.
So
like because they bought it in one location, then they had it, then it ended up in her hands. Now, mind you, this was in another part of the state. It wasn't in the same location, and then it ended up in her hands.
And I think they could have paid this girl, Sonia New, to say that she was talking about taking herself out.
Sonia New. Can you refresh my memory on Sonia
That's
New?
her friend, her co-worker from work that was doing all the talking in this.
Oh, okay.
She was like, yeah, she told me a couple of days, like she really messed up. This was after the whole DUI situation happened.
Oh, okay.
And she was saying that she was saying, she said after she got the DUI, her life is turned to ish now. And she was basically giving up. She was saying she lost all hope.
Yeah, usually when someone starts talking like that, you already know what's floating in the back of their mind.
Mm-hmm. I'm taking out you, me, and the dog.
But those images, though, like those images were crazy that they were showing the crime scene.
Exactly. And you know what's got me?
Mm-hmm.
The two holes in the wall from the from the nails. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because those seem like somebody attempted to pow and then got him the second try.
Mm-hmm.
Because he had two to the chest.
Yeah, or it could have been this. Because she may not have known how to use a firearm. So when people don't know how to use one, they can't control it. So they'll start shooting all wildly. So that could have been what it is. But what got me, though, was when they were showing the pictures of the firearm and it had brain matter on it. And I said, and at first I was thinking, I said when I looked at it, I was like, how did that happen? It's like, oh, because of the one to the dome. So yeah, that's what did it.
But that was from her.
That was from her. Yeah, that's what I meant. That's because they had to be close range in order for that to happen.
I don't think it was her. I think this is gonna be open back up. I think this was done for a reason. Vincent Hill, he's a private investigator. That's why I got his picture up. He's made a couple of books about this, and he's been investigating this, and he strongly believes that it was some foul play between him and Gaddy. And I don't know about Wayne Neely, but I know he was saying that Gaddy and him had these problems, and this wasn't the first time he has stolen from him.
Yeah, I remember watching this, and they was mad at Vincent Hill for coming in or being Johnny Come Lately, and it was like, where did you come from? And he just automatically just kind of threw yourself into this and immediately became the opposed.
The detective that worked this case, the one you talked about, how he was with his facts, and don't get me wrong, I feel like he was a good detective.
Mm-hmm.
But certain things he followed up his leads. So I mean, maybe I could be wrong.
Because they said that he had spoke to her family or something like that, and saying that she wasn't like this. There's no way that she could have did what they said she did. But the thing is, we'll never really truly know because she's no longer here. Steve's no longer here. There was no indoor surveillance in the dwelling, so we don't know or saw what was going on in there, but they didn't say anything about there being a forced entry. It doesn't look like anybody broke in. It was just them that was there.
Neely had a key. Wayne Neely had a key. So
and I'm sure they got her prints off of it too.
But they didn't talk about stuff like that. They didn't even talk about residue from the hammer. You understand? So it's just like a lot of stuff with me. I think, you know how some people say, let's just close this up and don't let it go any further.
Yeah.
It is questionable. I'm not saying that's what happened, but to me, it's too many red flags.
Well, who knows?
Okay, so he said, I'm 36 years old now. Steve Mcnair, my heart broke. 20 is an adult. My girlfriend is 23. Okay, I do. It is an adult, but she's still not. I think she had a rough life, and she looked at this as a happy ending for her. And
they said she had. Yeah, they definitely said she had
simple because of her age.
Yeah, they said her she was from Iran. They said her mother, she died when she was a little girl. I think she was they said she was 9 years old. So, and then that's when she ended up leaving from her country and then came over here.
Right.
And then on top of that too, I always say age doesn't define maturity, because she might have been, because I said she might have been 20 years old and declared an adult, but she definitely probably could have still had a childlike mentality. And see, the thing is, it seems to me like she was looking for that fast life through Steve Mcnair. Keep in mind, Steve was already retired by this point. So it's not like he was still making the type of money that he was making when he was active in the NFL.
Correct. He wasn't making the money that he was making, but he was paying her bills.
Yep, he got her that truck.
He got her that truck. But it was like once that DUI happened, it was like they said because he didn't answer his phone for 2 days and left her with everything to handle. I think that's probably what made her upset about everything. But I don't know. I still got questions about if it actually went down that way.
Well, as of right now, it looks to me like all directions point directly to her, because they were the only two people that were there.
This is true.
It was nobody else in that place except them. And then he was taken out while he was asleep. Yeah, he was laying down. He got, I think they said he got 2 to the chest and 2 to the head.
It still brings me back to Wayne Neely, because you had a key there and you left. So that's why it was questionable to me with that and trying to pay the money.
But Jocelyn just said, mate, is another thing I was thinking of when she said that man was filthy rich and was slumming living in her apartment. I was thinking the same thing because I was
that's
thinking
what his friend wanted to say too in a nice way. The coach kind of wanted to say that.
Yeah, because I was looking at like where they were living at, and I'm thinking to myself, that doesn't look like it's the best place to live at for a person such as himself. And I was like, maybe, because sometimes the outside could be questionable, but the inside is where it's really at. But then when I'm looking on the inside, I'm like, huh? This is where you lived at? So yeah, he was living with her. I don't know why. Maybe that was his hideaway. I don't know. Or maybe they figure, oh, he wouldn't be caught over here. But clearly, apparently, that's where he decided to stay at.
That was his little get low spot.
And I wish they would have went. I wish they would have went more into the other the other women.
That's what I would wanted to know. Like
what was it like? What was his relationship like with those other women? Because they said it was several. It wasn't just her. And apparently they wait a minute. They did. Didn't they talk about one?
They talked about what they did talk about, because that's what Sonia was mentioning, how she found the used condoms in that trash can in that apartment, and that started a rift with them too. And then she started to see that she wasn't the only one, and he was with other people. And then the DUI thing happening, I guess I think she knew that he was getting ready to cut her loose, and she did not like it.
Yeah, like I said, she tried to play another position other than the one she's supposed to be playing.
Right.
She didn't want to be the side chick. She probably went into this thinking she wasn't the side chick. She probably thought she was the main chick. I'm like, you do realize this man, while he is cheating on her, is still married.
Exactly.
You will never be the main chick. Never.
You know what got me? The part where she was like, they were talking about adopting children. I'm like,
yeah,
I didn't even believe that.
Exactly.
That's why I found her friend, her co-worker, her homegirl questionable too. Like, you know how somebody is there to smooth the story over to make it seem like everything is all on her.
You gotta think, she probably, here's the thing. She's 20 years old. She works at Dave & Buster's. They said that the team would come into that Dave & Buster's often, like, maybe after a game or something like that to wind down. But it just so happened that he came in there that day and gave her his number. So she probably felt real special in that moment, right? Listen, the moment that she got his number, that was the day she probably decided, I'm going to go and break up with my boyfriend. She was like, that's it. That is it. That's probably what that was probably like, she already had an exit strategy ready. And she probably, went and, when she officially started messing with Steve, she definitely went back and told her co-workers, well, especially the female co-workers, what was going on. Cause girls talk. So that's what she was going to go and do naturally. And who knows what else she probably told them. That's probably why the co-worker has mentioned something. That's why the co-worker had said something about them adopting children, because that's probably what she told her. Now, here's the thing.
I don't believe that came from him for her and him.
I was getting ready to say that. I don't believe that he said that. That's what she probably put out there.
I agree with you on that. I do agree with you on that. That's why I feel like it was said that way to make it seem like she did this because she's not getting what she wants in the end.
Exactly. And like I said, she's young. She wants that fast life. She saw how she was with her ex-boyfriend. But then when Steve started showing her some attention, that she dropped him like a bad habit. But the only reason she didn't leave is, again, like we said, her name is still on the lease. But the minute that lease was up, she was out.
Yes. I think that's what he was mad about, because he probably didn't think she was really going to move. And then, she went through with this. And then he writes all of that. So she must have been, I think she was gone for a while before everything happened with them too, though. She was staying there a lot, but I don't even think she really moved in there. You know how somebody moves themselves in there, but he don't know what's going on?
Yeah.
And he probably was all right with her staying there if he ain't had nothing else going on. If he had other side pieces, they might have had their own spot.
Oh, definitely. But like I said, she was the one that felt like she was the special one.
Yes.
All the other ones apparently knew their role. They knew the play, but her on the other hand, she overplayed her hand.
I wouldn't be surprised if she I wouldn't be surprised if she did know her role, but she thought she was going to change everything with this.
Mm-hmm.
You know how people use this situation, the DUI, as leverage because he was there. The car is in his name too. We don't know if there was a back and forth with that, where maybe he was taking the car back, and that's why it went south.
Yeah.
Because he was paying all her bills.
Yes, that right there is what made her feel like she was the main one.
Yeah.
She was being taken care of.
Yeah. But then again, she's only 20, so how much bills do she really have?
Exactly.
I'm just saying, you know, we might have them other girls. Yeah, he takes care of my apartment and all of that other stuff. I'm sure he probably did this before with other people. Especially when he was in the NFL. People were quieter back then. Remember, this was back in 2009 where social media was just getting started. It was in its infancy, kind of with like Twitter and look, they are still his social thing was MySpace. So we know that Twitter wasn't even Twitter was out and Facebook, but people were still kind of using MySpace back then.
Yeah. Twitter had just came out that year. It was new.
Yeah, it was like I said in its infancy. So I was right. Okay. That was just off the dome. Is it anything else you want to cover with this? I mean, it's not that much.
It's not a lot because it was only an hour.
Yeah, it was only an hour, but I felt like I felt like we didn't get enough out of this story.
You think it should have been like more? You think you feel like it should have been, like almost like a mini series of some sort? Like,
yeah, I would love to have just a whole longer segment on Vincent Hill alone, just to talk about his findings, because he was like, that whole situation with the money happened, and then 2 weeks later he's gone. So that's why I see the red flags with this.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess if there's anything left to come out of it, I guess it'll eventually reveal itself over time. But as of right now, they pretty much at where they're at.
Yeah, pretty much, because he seemed like he was pissed off. This guy, he did not like this one bit. Like, he's like, where he come from?
Yeah, because he probably felt like this man is about to undercut all the hard work that I did.
And he did do it, y'all. And you did. Yeah. I'm glad you pointed that out, because he was one of the people that took this case because he didn't have any children. I think his children were older.
Yeah.
And he took this case like that. I mean, I might be wrong with this because I'll be doing so many different cases. I think that's the Scott Peterson case.
Oh.
My bad, y'all. But
that was a whole nother can of worms right there.
Mm-hmm. The one you was doing earlier, that had a lot of questions too.
Oh, definitely.
Tell them what you did earlier, so that way they know to go check out the replay.
Okay, yeah. Well, it's on Rumble, but I was doing today was True Crime Sunday, and we revisited the JonBenet Ramsey case.
Mm-hmm.
A very high profile case back in the mid 90s. I was only 7 when that happened, and I remember it vividly because it was on the news. It was everywhere. Like, you could not escape that.
You could not. I was going to work every day when this was going on.
I mean, it was on every newspaper, the front page, magazines, on every news affiliate, national and local. It was everywhere. But yeah, that's what I talked about. That's what we went over and discussed today. And I learned some new things about that as well, as you saw when we was having the discussion at the end.
Yeah, the whole thing with the brother and stuff like that too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know what? With this also, I'm glad you brought this case up with JonBenet Ramsey, because they said the same thing with this case. It was people walking around in there too soon, where things could have been moved because Once again, you had Wayne Neely leaving the scene. We don't know if he took anything from there.
Right.
He
Exactly.
said he just had a beer. He walked in the house, thought they was asleep. Do something in the garbage, a bottle of beer in the garbage, and when he came back, he realized they were both deceased.
Hmm.
So
and see, that's the days before Ring. You know,
yeah,
ring cameras weren't around at the time,
no,
and I don't think a lot of in-home surveillance was around even at that
no.
time either. A lot of it was external, like outside.
Only way you was having some sort of stuff like that is if you came from money, like what's going on with Diddy right now. He probably
Yeah,
always had security systems in his house like that where they had cameras and
yeah.
things of that nature. But this people wasn't getting cameras like this back then. This was in 2009. I don't even think a lot of people had iPhones back then. Some people were still using flip phones and
Oh yeah,
Blackberry.
definitely. Oh yeah, definitely. People still
That was the
using
Blackberry. Yeah.
yeah. Because I had just got my first smartphone that year. It was a Motorola Droid.
I'm trying to. I think I had an HTC then, but I was still using my BlackBerry. It took me a while to get into my BlackBerry.
Wow, we sound like some relics bringing up there. You said
Look, I know I'm a relic. Sure.
Like that's crazy. That was crazy because I'm thinking about like the original Android, which was the Motorola Droid, and I'm saying to myself, and that's the one that it slid up. Slid like a sidekick.
Yeah, that's what I was just getting ready to mention that. I want to say those was being used a lot back then.
Oh, the sidekick. Oh, yeah, definitely. No, when I was an undergrad in college, which was from 2007 to 2011, I knew so many people who had a sidekick. Like they had the white sidekick and they had the newer black one that came out. I remember people had them sidekicks. It was either you had a sidekick or a BlackBerry. It was either one of those two. And then the iPhone came out, and then everybody got an iPhone. And the Android came out, and everybody got an Android.
Yep. Sometimes men will find a dirty skirt to hang out at her crib that requires no answering to and come and go whenever they. Yep. Long as they bills is paid. Exactly. Anything. That sound like you came from another place, right? Anywho, moving on. So, oh, hey, girl.
Hey, I am so sorry. I am so sorry. Well, I don't like to be. I don't like to be being rude and being late. But I ran over a little bit, and then my niece was here, so I was trying to take care of her. Had to get her together. She's gone now, so it was just a lot going on at one time.
It's okay. It's okay. Yeah. What was your thoughts about this? Do you feel like this was a solved crime, or do you feel like there were red flags still with this?
Where's the red flag? Where the flags at? Where the red flags at? It's a lot of red flags. No, this crime is not solved to me. I felt that it was unfinished documentary. Yeah, it was unfinished documentary to me. It was a short documentary. It was on like a little less than an hour, if it was just an hour, and it was just didn't give us all the information that we needed. It was just unfinished and like no arrests, no nothing. It was just I didn't like it.
It just was like a self-deletion and a deletion.
What'd you say?
It was a self-deletion and a deletion. And to me, it seems like nobody, how can I say this? I just had questions with it. Like all of those flags I got up there, Inga, those were the people I had questions about. Even the boyfriend, even though he just seemed like a jilted lover, but I don't know. I just had questions, but that's just me.
No, it was a lot of unanswered things. Like they didn't get into the meat and potatoes. First of all, they didn't talk to the man's family. Nobody, not his wife, his mother, father, sister, brother, cousins, nobody. Then so that was crazy. And then they focusing like more on his football career, which I don't have a problem with that because I do like sports documentaries, and so I don't have a problem with us teaching him about how great of a football player he was, but you didn't give us enough information on the Livin. And then so to this day, no one's arrested. No, just nothing happened. I just don't. And to me, it's clear. I think the friends had something to do with it. I think
that's how I feel. That's how I feel about it. And it seemed like the detective don't want the case to be opened back up because he feels like.
Well, I think they messed up too. The police department too. They dropped the ball on some stuff.
I agree. What area do you think they dropped the ball with the most? Is it one of the red flag people?
Yeah, I think it might have been that Robert Gaddy person. Wasn't it the one that they didn't follow through with some questions? Forget, it was somebody who they said that they didn't follow through with certain questions. I forgot who it was. Maybe it was
this guy that tried to pay the money? Because I keep revisiting that part. That don't seem right there. What this is your first time in an interview room, and that's the first thing you're gonna do. And then I know him and Gaddy was arguing over money and stuff like that.
Yeah. That's my thing is a big daddy. I ain't calling this dude no big daddy. Big daddy Gaddy. Come on. Yeah, I was suspicious of him. I was suspicious of that one guy, the guy who didn't even want to go on camera. What was his name? What was his name? I forgot his name.
This one, Wayne Neely? He didn't
it was a black guy who they at the end they showed the guy's face. But they said he didn't want to
Oh, that was where they found the other hammer that was connected to.
Okay. It was another guy, right? They say he was a person of interest or something, but
he didn't go on camera.
Okay. And this is my question. Did I say hi to Taurian? I don't even know if I just came in, started running my mouth.
I said what's going on. I said what's going on. I think you said what's going on. What's up?
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Well, you can even answer this, Taurian. What's going on with what's up with the wife? So she doesn't want to investigate to find out who took her husband out? She probably
just didn't want to be talked about. Like I was telling Moochie, it was very well known that Steve had multiple affairs.
Right.
And multiple side chicks. And I was saying that this one right here, she thought that she was getting main chick privileges and had no clue that she, because I was looking up some more, stuff in May, because her birthday, she turned 20 in May of that year. She just turned 20. And that's when he got her that black Cadillac Escalade, the one that he signed off on that was in his name, and her name was on there as well. So she probably figured, oh, he's getting me all of this stuff. I must be moving on up the tier list outside of being a side chick. Now I'm moving my way up to being the main one. But then also around that time, that's when she started to learn that she wasn't the only one. Oh, and by the way, Mooch, I found out that they were found out that was his condo. That was his. That where they found that was his. At first I thought it was hers, but that was
no. I knew it was his. Okay. I knew it was his because his friend had the key. That's why I got so many questions with that.
It was blood everywhere in that house or apartment, whatever it was. It was, the sofa, all on the wall. It was all on the carpet.
Because he was laid out. He was laying on the sofa. He was sleeping on the sofa, and that's where he was killed while he was asleep.
Okay, but the white girl got taken out too, right? The white girl was dead.
Yeah, because
it's sad piece.
She was there. She was there.
Yeah, she was there because remember a couple days before, that's when she got the gun. She had got the gun that was used a couple days before, and that's when she had asked him can I meet you at your condo? Like that was a conversation they had. Can I meet you at your condo? And then that was the last conversation they had. The next thing you know, they're both deceased.
Suburban Jones got a point. Could be a conspiracy where they were all working together. I might agree with that. Yeah,
that is a good idea because
it's too suspicious. I'm suspicious of all these people,
and that's what I was saying to Tori. I said, you got a small town. It's not that much money there, and he's a mark. I'm sorry. Everybody's gonna want a piece of that pie.
I just think that whoever put this documentary together, they could have just dug a little bit deeper.
And also too,
information.
And also the girl was also telling her family about him, and she was also telling her sister that Steve had plans to divorce his wife. Like, she was going around telling them all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, but even if she I don't think she was telling them that, because it seemed like the wife didn't speak, but there is articles. It seemed like she didn't know nothing about all of this going on. But then again,
and also too, I was also looking up too. They said that
Michelle, who, a lot in this too.
And also too, I was looking up too that Michelle, who is Steve's wife, said she had no clue who this chick was. She had no idea who it was. She said Steve never brought up to me about wanting a divorce. So she's like, I don't know where she was getting it.
I think the girl was running with everything. I think he had his life outside, and his wife didn't. His wife, you know how somebody just says, let them cheat in peace? I think she was that type of wife. And I didn't want to put her picture up here. I felt like she was embarrassed enough.
Yeah.
They said they were dating for 6 months.
Yeah. She was a young girl that was like, she got things twisted. I'm sorry. I mean, I think that's the facts with that. I think she got things twisted.
I'm on this with it. I went on this People's article, and I feel like they put some stuff in this People's article that they should have put in this documentary. Because
do you want to share your screen?
Yeah, I can share it.
Okay.
Because they put some stuff in here that I feel like they should have put in the documentary. That
Please share your screen so we can because this is it's getting juicy.
Yeah, it's getting juicy now.
All right, let me see. So I'm right here. So this article was posted on People. On August the 20th, like literally a couple weeks ago. Let me try to get to the main part. Okay, so it says around the time of his NFL retirement, Mcnair began an affair with then 19-year-old waitress Jenny Kazemi, a woman he met while she was working at a local Dave & Buster's restaurant, which we already know about. It says Kazemi immigrated to the United States as a teenager after her mother was taken out in their native Iran, per the Tennessean. She moved from Florida to Tennessee with a boyfriend when she was 16, but by December 2008, they had split and fallen out of touch. Later that same month, she met Mcnair. The couple began seeing each other often, spending time at a condo in Nashville that Mcnair rented with a friend for times he wanted to spend away from his family. Kazemi's nephew, Farzin Abdi, recalled the pair going on trips to Florida, California, Hawaii, and even to Mcnair's farm in Mississippi. For Kazemi's 20th birthday in May 2009, Mcnair co-signed the purchase of a black Cadillac Escalade for her. When her family came to Nashville to celebrate the special occasion, they met Mcnair over a sushi dinner and then partied at clubs around town. Despite Mcnair being married, his relationship with Kazemi seemed to grow more serious over time. According to Kazemi's family, she told them Mcnair was planning on leaving his wife and subsequently marry her. Kazemi's sister recalled that in the weeks before her death, Mcnair told Kazemi that the divorce was being finalized. Michelle, who is Steve's wife, later revealed that she had no plans to divorce her husband and had no idea about his affair with Kazemi. He says, I didn't know about her at all. You're going to have people say who say, oh, she knew. Did I know about some other people and some other things? Yes, but did I know about her? No, I did not. So I wanted to, so that's one part. You want me to keep going?
If you want, I'm like, I'm just
okay. Like I said, like when I'm reading right here, that's why I said this right here was not in the documentary. I said that's why I wish
that should have been in there.
Yeah. So so it's by July 2009. Mcnair and Kazemi had been secretly dating for about 6 months. Around this time, Kazemi discovered that Mcnair was likely also seeing another woman after she found used condoms in the bathroom of his condo. Mcnair, in fact, was they did talk about that. Mcnair, in fact, was having an affair with another woman named Leah Ignagne, who he met several months prior. Ignagne later told police that she had noticed a Cadillac Escalade following her on several occasions, suggesting that Kazemi knew who Mcnair was having an affair with. According to a member of McNair's security team, Chris Wall, the football star, had become increasingly annoyed by his relationship with Kazemi. He told investigators that she called him at inopportune times when he was with his wife and children. As a result, the retired pro athlete decided to slow down their relationship and see her less often. On the night of July 1st, Mcnair met up with Kazemi at a sports bar after Ignati told him she couldn't spend time with him. Mcnair and Kazemi were later joined by Mcnair's friend Bent Casper Gordon when the trio departed the bar in Kazemi's Cadillac Escalade in the early hours of July 2nd. They got pulled over by the police. Now, let's get into the part where they bring up the DUI, and when we saw that part in the documentary. It says she was arrested on DUI charges, but Mcnair and Gordon were permitted to leave the scene in a cab. Hours later, Mcnair bailed Kazemi out of jail, and the couple allegedly argued. After parting ways, Mcnair went to see Ignati before opening his restaurant for the morning. That night, he returned to Ignati's home to sleep over. So he went back to the side chick he was with before he got with her. It says on July 3rd, Kazemi had a lengthy text message conversation with Mcnair, who was fishing with his sons. While texting, she expressed concern over finances, telling him she had cell phone and hospital bills to pay. Her roommate also moved out, which doubled her rent in addition to car payments on the Escalade and an older vehicle she owned. During the exchange, Mcnair agreed to transfer her $2,000, but Kazemi continued to be upset and floated the idea of going to the hospital to get checked out. After asking Mcnair to meet her that night, Kazemi headed to her shift at Dave & Buster's. Before clocking in, though, she met up with Adrian Gilliam, a convicted felon she first encountered while trying to sell her old car, according to CBS News. In the restaurant parking lot, Gilliam sold Kazemi a 9mm handgun. After starting her shift, Kazemi's manager, Sonia New, noticed the waitress wasn't acting like her usual upbeat self. Kazemi then told New about her relationship with Mcnair and the DUI. Looking back, New said that Kazemi didn't seem angry, but ended the conversation by saying, "My life is just, they mentioned they played that part in the documentary." When she finished work, Kazemi texted Mcnair to ask him if he wanted to go out drinking. He declined, saying he was busy putting the kids to bed, although he told his friend Doug Crow he would meet up with him. Instead of going out, Kazemi decided to go to Mcnair's condo, according to the Tennessean. Meanwhile, Mcnair was out with Crow, but only stayed at the bar briefly before texting Kazemi at 12:38 to tell her he was on the way to the condo. Mcnair's driver dropped him off sometime between 1:15 a.m. and 1:30 a.m. He would be the last known person to see Mcnair alive. A short time later, both Mcnair and Kazemi were deceased.
She was following the other girlfriend too then.
Yeah, she was basically stalking her. Now, why didn't they put that in there? That's what that should have been in there.
I agree. That should have been in there. And
because now I'm not bad, but now them putting that part in there about her stalking, that really makes her look, crazy.
Yes. How about you, Inga? You think are you seeing it different now that you heard this article?
I guess Inga had to step away right quick.
Okay, she had to step away. Let me see. It could have been okay. That's something that he wrote earlier. But yeah, I agree. I think it was some sort of It's like she got jealous or got envious, and then they also mentioned about she was having financial issues, and it looks like it also said that he basically got tired of her. So he got tired of her because again she kept overplaying her position, and it got too much. And he said that she would call at inopportune times. He could be with his wife and his kids, and she would be blowing up his phone. You know what it reminded me of? Fatal Attraction. I was just going. Yep.
I could say he's going to say it because you fixed your mouth. You fixed your. That's exactly what it was starting to remind me.
I will not be ignored.
What y'all thought about that? I mean, what did y'all say? Because y'all probably missed our conversation. What y'all feel about the little white guy that was he was the boyfriend? They had on their title that he was a fan, but he was the boyfriend. This is the person. This guy, he's the boyfriend to that girl.
He's the roommate.
Yeah, like when they were saying that he moved out and everything like that, that was him. When he moved out, that's when she got a lot of more financial issues because she broke up with him before they when she was starting to date, quote unquote, Steve McNair.
Yeah.
Okay. This whole thing is suspicious. It's yeah. All these people, it's red flags on all these people.
Because he said he was always like he was always a fan of Steve McNair and everything like that. They went to the games and all types of stuff like that. And he knew that the team would sometimes come to the Dave and Buster's that she worked at, and he was like, if there was ever an opportunity that Steve ever walked in there, could you get his autograph for me? She didn't come back with that autograph. She came back with his number.
The number and a whole bunch of texts.
Yeah.
Texting him back and forth and everything. He was jealous, but I mean, that's normal. This is understandable. He's a young kid too. He's the same age as her.
And he knew that he could not compete with that.
Exactly. But I don't know about him doing. I don't think he did. I don't think
he did it though.
I don't think he did anything. I just think he was mad and look, I don't like him. She done messed up my whole thing with being a fan with this guy. And that's how he came across like that to me. You on mute, Inga?
Sorry.
Who said something?
I'm sorry. Yeah, everybody got red. I'm a red flags on everybody. I'm gonna throw all these people in the fire. I'm tired. I don't like none of these people. Yeah. I'm a.
You was like me then when you finished watching it. Ain't all of them.
And you know something? I was listening to after you and I had our talk.
We talked about.
I was listening to. I listen to a lot of audio podcasts. Usually, like while I'm working, I'm listening to them in the background. So I'm listening to these random people, and they were talking about this documentary on a Apple podcast I was listening to, and they said the same complaints that you and I had, Moochie, that one, the documentary was too short, it didn't give us enough information, red flags on all of these people, why they didn't talk to the family. I have nothing but more questions, Torian. Then I don't feel like nothing was solved for me. I still got more questions.
Like we said, it was a very short documentary. Like you said, it was under an hour. Like if they really wanted to do it, they could have stretched it out. So there could be more that could be discussed with this.
I still think we should have got more with Vincent Hill too, because he had books and everything. I thought we were gonna get a longer interview with him pointing out different things that I would like to hear his red flags. We heard about Robert Gaddy, but what else? Mm-hmm. It was the other person that had the firearm before.
Yeah, because they had talked to him. They had talked to him because I think he was living or he was with his girlfriend at the time or something like that. Like I said, that firearm passed a few hands before it got to her.
Exactly. That's why I think they might, like what you said, what the Suburbia Jones effect said.
This might be something they might be all in cahoots to take him out.
Exactly. Because to me, that business now is fully probably hit the other guys now, or whatever the case may be. He probably bought the wife out,
and maybe y'all was gonna say maybe the wife. I ain't gonna say she's involved, but I'm gonna say she probably don't give a damn. Cause this nigga been cheating on me and treating me bad, and I don't know. I'm just speculating. I'm gonna say allegedly. I don't know.
I'm looking at the small town that they're in, and too many people know each other, and everybody's connected, and I want to know what's the reason for him not going back to investigate this even more, the other detective.
And then, like RC said, this whole thing is fishy. That's how I feel too. It stink of fish. Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know what more to say because that's how. Yeah, and so they just not Torian. They not going to reopen this case up. Do you think this documentary is going to help?
This documentary will help it open up again?
Unless they can find new evidence and proof to be enough for them to reopen it, this is pretty much done.
Damn.
Why can't this be some
this
of
man
the
had
proof?
Children. This man had children.
Some of the proof. This right here, that don't. To me, that's a red flag right there.
I think the police messed up too in this investigation.
Trying to give up money in this interview.
Yeah, I think
If
the
you ain't
police
do
messed
nothing
up
wrong,
too.
why you trying to pay people off?
Yeah, look at him pulling out all the money.
Exactly. And they was like, no, your money's no good here. I don't know. I have problems with that.
But all they're gonna do is go off of the fact that the weapon that was used was the weapon that she bought, and that her hands was the last ones on it. They said, okay, let's just chalk it up as that.
Yeah, let's not
And like
dig into it.
and like I said, there was no forced entry. Nobody broke in, or nothing was stolen or anything like that. They were the only two people that were there. I'm sure they probably dusted that place from top to bottom with prints to see if there was anyone else that probably touched something or tampered with something, and they didn't find anything. So, and the thing is, deceased don't talk. So she's gone, he's gone. So
That's
there was
basically
there was no indoor surveillance. So there was no alarm system as far as I know.
But they said a whole hour passed before they called the police, because he first called the guy left. Mm-hmm. I'm talking about Wayne Neely left. Then he called Gaddy, and then an hour later they called 911. That's the whole fishy part right there. What was y'all cleaning up? How much did y'all clean up? So,
which we might have to open this case up.
Look, don't be surprised if the TikTok detectives get on this, because it's a lot. To me, it's holes in it, and then
it's a lot of holes. Yeah,
it's making me want to find out what Vincent Hall knows and what's Vincent Hall's take on it. All right. I mean, I just, if y'all haven't seen it, it's called Untold. This is the title of it, Untold, the blank of, the red rum of Air McNair, because I'm trying not to say.
But you do know who Wayne Neely was, right?
Yeah. Wasn't he one of he's rich too though. That's why I'm like he
was the co-renter of the apartment that Steve stayed
I know it. He called it a cat house. Did you hear him call it that in the interview? So they get low spot. So if he had a girl, he would take her there too. I'm assuming though, but that's what it seemed like.
Yeah, I just want to know just why I guess the wife ain't doing more investigation. That's making me suspicious too. Like, regardless, even though he might have been a cheater pumpkin eater and going around sleeping with all the women, why wouldn't she still want to know who killed her? I mean, who took out her husband? They got children.
Now,
maybe she just want to leave it alone. Maybe she just want to leave it alone.
Maybe him being a popular player and tell him hold on. Let me put us
now back when this happened, his wife and kids couldn't talk about him. I tell him.
Bath rules were different compared to now. This is true.
Because the thing is, in the eyes of the public, he was seen as a hero, or maybe God-like to a lot of people, so no one would want to believe that. But like I said, their relationship.
He was a great football player. Can't nobody take that from him. Now he was good. Definitely. I remember him. Yeah. So.
But like I said, the thing is, him and the woman he was with that was not his wife, they said the relationship was very public. It was not private. Like, people saw them out in public.
They did see them out in public, but it's just, to me, certain stuff. I don't know. I don't want to keep repeating the same things, but
because
it's not right. I understand why she probably didn't speak. And I like like I said, I like the fact that Jeff Fisher doesn't want him to be remembered for this crime, because that's what it seems like. He wanted to overshadow. He wanted to say this is how I want him to be remembered, and I agree with that whole situation too. But I don't. Do we know if this is really solved? He seemed like he felt like it was solved too. or maybe.
I think it's the thing. I think the thing is like with what they've already seen and what they've heard and what they know, they would probably prefer that don't even go back and try to reopen it and see if there's anything there, because what if you do and there's nothing there to find? Then that means you open the wound all over again, and now it's like that's a wound that you wanted to keep closed. They said basically just let it stay, like let this thing just stay where it's at. Like as far as we know, she's the one that did it. Let it just be that, because we don't want to go through all of this all over again. Well, Moochie, was
that's what I'm saying. She might. That's what I'm saying. I was thinking that too. She might say, "The hell with it. I don't want to open."
That's probably like a lot of open wounds she gotta deal with that.
Right.
Look,
I'm probably pissed off that her husband was doing all kind of stuff.
Can you imagine what was being told? I'm talking about his wife. Could you imagine what was being said to her the whole time this was going on? Like, probably like, why didn't you leave him? I would have left him. I would have took him for everything. She probably heard all of that in her ear,
right?
While that was happening. And then after he was found deceased, imagine the barrage of things she heard after that. So she probably is like, I don't want to I don't want to deal with it no more. Like, let it be where it's at.
He probably involved in all kind of dirty little things, that not just the cheating part, but
she said she knew about some of them, and for her to find out about this, I think she didn't want to. I felt like she was embarrassed enough. I really do. I feel like he embarrassed her enough, and she handled it like a lady and not spoke about it. We haven't heard us anything with her. I wish her the best, but it's just I feel like she got a raw end of the deal too.
Yeah, it's a lot of unanswered questions. We really don't know anything. We just all speculating, you know.
Moochie and Inga went from the Golden Girls to Murder She
Wrote. Oh yeah, Moochie gonna be Angela Lansbury. She gonna open up this case, right?
I don't know about all of that.
Yeah, no, we gonna mind our business.
Let's mind our business and move on to the next documentary.
We get the pulling stuff back. We might open up Pandora's box. You know what I'm saying? So. Might just have to leave it alone.
Yeah, and I was looking it up too. They said that she never remarried.
Sure, after being embarrassed like that, I understand.
And they said that
she might get his money and stuff, like whatever little NFL money.
Oh yeah,
probably get all that. So she probably don't need to be married. That don't mean she ain't got nobody in her life. She's just not married to nobody. She's
not married.
And I was looking it up, and they said
that might be outside.
And if you get married, that stuff might get cut off. So nothing.
And they said they got 2 sons. They had 2 sons. I think if I looked at the most recent one, her sons are 19 and 14 now.
Wait, I can't. They did a poor job handling Mcnair release from Tennessee. Locked him out of the facility. Really?
Well, they fired Jeff Fisher. You know, they got rid of him.
Yeah, but I'm so what? How did his career actually end?
Well, he got fired because the team was losing or something, wasn't it?
Well, we talking about Jeff Fisher. I know that's what usually happened to coaches, but I'm talking about Steve McNair being released from Tennessee.
Because he went to the Ravens.
Oh yeah, I know he went to the Baltimore Ravens after he retired from the Ravens.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I got it. But now
didn't they
have a lockout where they wasn't playing football for a while?
It wasn't from that.
Oh, Jeff Fisher got fired from the Rams. Okay, I knew he got fired. Okay,
so he got fired.
Jeff Fisher got fired. Yeah.
You know who they needed? You know who I wanted to see them do a documentary on?
Who?
Sean Taylor.
Yes. Yes, Sean Taylor. That was such a tragic story.
Yeah, I mean, Inga, you listen. You already know this area. We was in mourning for a while.
My father still wear his Sean Taylor Redskin jersey.
Is that the one that had the home invasion?
Yeah,
right.
They did do a documentary on him.
Oh, they did.
Yeah. We're gonna look. This might be another thing to him. We're gonna have to, join forces on, because they did do a documentary on him.
Find it, let us know so we.
What documentary I did want to do? It was called Run. I had it up. We were about to do it, and I couldn't get the for some reason.
They took it off.
Took it down.
Yeah, I know which one because you and I had talked about doing it.
That was one of my
first. With other stuff, we never did it.
I got so discouraged where I left the documentary thing alone for a while after that because that was gonna be my first one, and it was Run for Your Life, the Lawrence Phillips story.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Detroit says on HBO Max.
It's on HBO Max now.
Which one? The Sean Taylor one or which one he talking about?
I don't know. Detroit.
Is it HBO Max? Is it Sean Taylor he talking about? Or that one you talking about, Moochie? That was on Showtime, and then they ended up taking it off or something.
Yeah, they took it off because we was about to talk about it, and then for some reason I wasn't able to access it like that.
Even people who wasn't Redskins fans was mourning Sean Taylor when he passed.
It was just tragic.
Yeah. Like thing is, they wasn't expecting him to be at home.
Exactly.
And he happened to be home.
Yeah,
but you don't think that was a setup? Like
it was.
I wholeheartedly believe that was a setup.
It was a setup.
I will say that was a setup.
He was helping a lot of people in the neighborhood and stuff like that, and people got greedy.
Mm-hmm.
People got greedy and they lined them up. So I guess we've been on here about an hour. I dropped the link, Detroit, if you wanted to get on here and add your 2 cents about it. But if not, get up with me so you could probably get on the next documentary that we do. Inga, what you got going on? I know you just came off of Bel Air. I was watching it before I had to set everything up.
Yeah. Just our little quick thoughts of me, Miss Karen, and Shayna just happened to pop in on Bel Air. But I'm gonna talk about it with y'all ladies too. Whenever y'all do it. And let's see. What else?
Y'all about to be busy.
I be doing stuff. I be forgetting. Like, what did we do all last week? I forgot all.
Okay, so last week we did Bel Air, and we also did on Wednesday.
Oh, we did the Supreme, that movie on that Hulu movie. Yeah, we did that.
Movie night with the ladies, and also
Reasonable Doubt. We did that. But this coming week, I got we back. Power's coming back.
Y'all about to be busy.
Yeah, we're gonna be busy. This week, it's gonna be I think a pregame, and then we got Power, Reasonable Doubt this week. Then Bel Air again, and then this whole month is gonna be documentaries, TV shows. It's gonna be a lot this month.
Also, don't forget about the Aaron Hernandez FX that comes out soon.
I'm looking forward to that.
I am going to be talking about that. It might be either quick thoughts. Oh yeah, Detroit, quick thoughts or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, and I'm also
what's popping.
And the Menendez thing is coming out. I'm gonna try to be doing that. On Netflix. This whole month is stuff. Fight night. So I'm gonna try to squeeze it all in. I'm gonna squeeze something in every day, every week.
Also, too, I don't know about y'all, but I do plan on watching that. That movie Rebel Ridge.
Oh yes, I posted that on my community. I think I'm gonna. I don't see.
That come on Friday too. It's a lot. Listen,
I don't know if I can review that. It's so much other stuff, but I'm gonna watch it anyway. I'll see. I'll see what I can do, but that's it. It's so much. But hey, Detroit.
No, they had a what's good, Moochie? I didn't know y'all. I knew y'all was doing it, but I didn't know what time. But the documentary, y'all Sean Taylor documentary. You remember they did it 30 for 30 on ESPN. They did that. So if anything, that documentary is on Hulu.
Okay.
So that they did that. They did like I think they did like a 3-part.
Okay.
Because the OJ one is on there. You had the Chicago basketball player that got who used to play
on Alive.
Yeah, And what else? They got a whole bunch of documentaries on there.
I love 30 for 30. I watched mostly all of them. I haven't seen every last one.
It was Sean. It's
Taylor.
Sean Taylor. They did it 30 for 30 for that.
30 for 30. Now see, it had 30 for 30 TAUREAN did this documentary on
They had
Steam,
Oscar
it would have been better.
30 for 32.
30 for 30 does ESPN does a wonderful job with their docs. Yeah. Whoever did this one for the Netflix, it just wasn't. It didn't hit.
It wasn't complete.
It wasn't complete. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
This document they did on Steve McNair. I remember him, man. He was on 2K on football cover. Like, my man was in this. I mean, he was 1 foot away from winning the Super Bowl. The guy was that. He was that deal, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a good player.
He got that team on the map and got them known.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Because you remember they transferred. They was in Houston.
Right.
And then they went from Houston to Tennessee. Yeah.
Right. Right.
Now, is it me? I'm gonna bring my conspiracy part into this. Do y'all think every black man that comes in contact with, Hollywood, and if they do have a lot of accomplishments, it's always an asterisk by their name at the end? I kind of feel a way about him, this happening and overshadowing his football career, kind of.
Well, that's what Eddie Griffin said back in the day. He said a black man can't go into Hollywood and leave clean. And it's like, as much as I don't like that, it's so true.
Yeah.
It is so true. And then it's like I'm sitting here thinking about all the black men that was in Hollywood. And when they passed on, did they leave without a smudge to their name? Like, you can find something there that made them not be squeaky clean when they left, or to the point where it was something that was there that was scrubbed to make them clean again.
I will say this: if this was a white player, this was someone like a Tom Brady or something, they would have solved this murder. This thing was still unresolved. They ain't arrest nobody. They ain't even trying to open the investigation back up. If this was some white player who was popular, this thing would have been resolved. We would have been watching court TV and watching the whole court case.
I want to hold your hat on this because you know why? Something just happened last night. I don't know if TAUREAN knows this, with the wide receiver for San Francisco 49ers. He took 2 to the chest after signing autographs.
Right.
I want to see how quick this is solved. Look, there's the example right there. I'm sorry, what did you say, TAUREAN?
I gotta look that up because
it popped up on my phone last night.
Yeah, but it happened last night.
I didn't deep dive into it, but they said somebody
caught him. He's just got drafted.
He just got drafted. He
didn't even get to play yet.
Yeah, they said it was an attempted robbery.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. He's home now.
He was in critical condition last night, though.
Yeah, he was, and they sent him home.
Okay, they just
do you think his football career is over, y'all? Because he had one in the chest and one in the back.
I don't think his football career over because I to be honest with you, if it was really, really bad, he would not be home right now.
I agree. It might have been what do you think? It's like a graze, or do you think it was an actual?
I think it was a graze.
He's lucky because it could have hit an artery.
Exactly.
He ain't gonna be able to play this year, though. I know that for a fact.
No, probably not this year.
And the San Francisco is hot right now because they about to find out who did that. They don't play when it comes to their athletes.
You know who else not playing this year?
What?
LaMarcus.
But no, can I ask you? Can I ask you a question?
I think he's done with football too. He trying to.
I think he's gonna be on live. I think he's gonna make it.
Can I ask you a question about the conspiracy?
Yeah, go ahead.
I actually think it's not a conspiracy. It's right because I was just thinking Michael Jackson. They do dirt on him. James Brown,
Bill
Prince,
Cosby
already, and Prince. I mean,
he going through it now.
Yeah, so it's what it is. It's sad, but that's how it's going.
Right.
This is why Denzel Washington don't go outside. He told y'all. He said ain't nothing out there but bad habits. He said I only go outside when I have to make a red carpet appearance for something I'm in. If it's not involved, he said if it's not involving me, I'm out. I'm inside with my wife.
I heard Ice Cube say that same thing about. He said I ain't go to no Diddy parties and stuff. He said because he said no, he said I ain't doing that. You know But
they still gonna put dirt on his name because his political belief. He Ice Cube don't care about that stuff.
Okay, Jeff Review said they already caught the guy.
Mm-hmm.
Allegedly.
He was powed in the chest and it went out his back. Okay, I know it was okay, so it went straight through.
Mm-hmm.
The mom posted it online. Thank you.
You know they're gonna do it in San Francisco. They got every camera in the book. So
to me, you can't do crimes like this now without getting caught. Somebody got a camera everywhere. It's cameras everywhere, and I don't care what y'all say. Believe it or not, face recognition is being used. They not telling us the truth with everything.
They don't tell us the truth with a whole bunch of stuff, you know.
I just got out of jail. So
hold on, Moochie. I didn't know you like football.
I have an older brother, so he talks to me about stuff like that. We
gonna have to do that Aaron and Hernandez TV series.
I'm all for it. I want to do that one definitely because
I'll watch it.
I want to talk about the documentary before we even talk about that if we got enough time. So
we got enough time. You gotta let me know when you do it.
I was just gonna say if I get it together, y'all want to join me on that?
I'll join you. It's on the documentary shit on Netflix, right?
The document, they got.
It's a couple of them.
It's a couple of Aaron Hernandez documentaries.
It's one. A few of them. It's gonna be one on Peacock, I believe, because he was with
Peacock has one
with Oxygen. And then it's the one on Netflix, and now we have the actual series coming out.
I'm definitely talking about the series.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that again, Taurian?
The name of the documentary on Netflix is called "Killer Inside the Mind of Aaron Hernandez." It came out in 2020.
Well, yes, we'll be watching that.
But
that one was good.
He had a very interesting life. I'll put it like that.
Yes. My favorite documentary is the McDonald's Monopoly game. Yes, I watched that one too. That was crazy because that whole thing was rigged.
The TV show comes out on the 17th.
I said there must have been only one Monopoly game with that boardwalk. I couldn't get that boardwalk to save my life.
That I ain't gonna hold you. That series, I mean, that was pretty good though, man. That was pretty good.
It was just like they ripped that whole thing was like a scheme.
I always thought it was a scam.
I did too. I said they know the winners. It'd be people that they know.
I need to go look that one up.
Yeah, I believe it's on HBO. That one's on HBO. That's on Max.
That's on HBO. It's on HBO.
That's on Max because I watched that last year. And it's more than one. It's a couple. It's a short series, so you're gonna get a lot of information from that.
Yeah, it's called McMillions.
Detroit. We already talked about doing the Aaron Hernandez.
For sure.
You just got to tell me what day works for you. It comes out on 17th, which is a Tuesday.
All right, so guys, I'm going to try to get better with the community tabs. I will be posting when we'll be doing the documentary, so that way you guys have enough time to watch it, so y'all can get in the conversation. So I want please be sure to the link. Everybody's links is in the description except for Detroit because I didn't know he was coming. Usually I put it up in there, but it'll be up in there if you for the replay. So if you're here for the replay, look down. Everybody's link is in the description. If you are not subscribed to these people's channel, please subscribe. I know Detroit got something going on. They about to do some power stuff now.
I'm excited about power, but I'm more excited about we gonna do this. Talk about this documentary and Hernandez TV series because call me crazy, but his life is very interesting.
Yes. Yes,
this dude was crazy.
Type of stuff.
I think he really suffered from CTE because he played football from a child.
I got a conspiracy
he was
theory.
Crazy,
though. I don't think he maybe call me crazy, but I don't think he did all of what they said he did.
I don't think so either. But we're gonna get into that because we'll be here all night.
Oh, you gonna on one hand.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So one hand, y'all gonna be talking about Aaron Hernandez, and then you're gonna be talking about the Menendez brothers.
I'm
talking
about the Menendez. I'm definitely talking about that. I was invested in that case back then, so
So can y'all put a hand up if y'all are into the documentaries thing? Because I'm just gonna try to figure out what night we gonna be able to do this, because we got a lot of stuff coming at us. So
I don't know how I'm gonna squeeze it all in, but I'm
gonna work it out. We're gonna work it out.
I love documentaries, man.
Me too. I'd rather do documentaries over TV shows, actually.
All right, so we're gonna work all of that out. So I want to thank everybody for coming through. I'm so glad. This was a good conversation. And I didn't think people was gonna be interested in the documentary, but they are, and they are interested in seeing more. So keep y'all notifications.
Oh, wait a minute, Moochie, before you click off. I definitely want to thank all of y'all for helping me get to 300 subscribers.
Hey! Congratulations.
Thank you. I looked today and I said, oh, 300, girl.
It's almost on the way to 500.
Y'all support, y'all help behind the scenes, in front of the scenes. I appreciate y'all.
Inga, now that you got your 300, you got to say, this is Sparta.
That's right. That's right. So now I'm on the road to the 500, you know. So oh, look at the hand clap. Oh, yeah. I get there. I thought that made my evening. I said,
you had to tell me a little sooner. I had to get my sound effects together.
I said, Lord, I was scratching and surviving good times over here trying to get to that 300. I was like, come on.
You was gonna get there.
You was gonna get there.
Oh, yeah, I wasn't like pressed, but I knew it would happen, you know.
Can I say one thing though? The people who the supporters of Inga, Moochie, whoever, please support them. I know y'all like Power, but it's more than we love other shows than Power. And I'll be looking at, and people don't support when people talk about Bel Air and all that type of stuff, man. It get discouraged. These people, Moochie be putting, this stuff together. She got a life, you know what I mean? Like, she could be spending time with her father. She could be spending time with her kids. She could be sitting there.
I did yesterday.
And Moochie might be trying to, I do. I ain't even gonna lie. Moochie puts in way more work than I do.
Look, we're gonna get. We're gonna talk about Aaron Hernandez. That's next. I just gotta get to. I wanted to get my. I still have to get my uploads for Bel Air. I want to just do my little personal thoughts. And I do have a little. I have a theory with one of those. So.
Fight night. It's a lot of stuff. Yeah.
It's a lot of stuff. Support the people. Moochie could be sitting there.
And I'm gonna do Power. I'm gonna have Power too, but I'm not obsessed with Power.
Right.
So once Power's over, I'll move on to other things. I like documentaries.
Also, shout out to Mike. And also, speaking of Power, shout out to Michael Rainey Jr. and Chloe Bailey and all of them over there, because they wrapped that horror movie that they're a part of. I think a couple of days ago, and I think they was in New Orleans, and they filmed that movie in 1 month.
Wow. So he getting it going. Like I told you, he ready to go like Tyler Perry.
So he moving on to some other stuff.
Oh
yeah. He's not moving on to other stuff. He just, he just doing other movies. Joseph Sikora did the same thing. Like they can do Power and then come
Joseph
back to Power.
He about to be on that Fight Night series.
Yeah, Joseph Sikora did. He does. You could do. Margaret Harvard did the same thing. He did Power, but he did a couple of Tyler Perry films too.
Yeah,
that man got to work at it.
I like to see more of Amari though. I'm disappointed that he's not.
We don't know yet. I don't want to put that. I'm not going to put that final nail in that coffin.
Well, I'm not putting a final. I'm saying, but since he left, he's been gone from the Power universe for a while.
I know he was. Is he on Star Trek?
Been blown up more, so I don't know.
He did. He on Star Trek.
He's on Star Trek, right?
Yeah, he was in one of them movies. Alien.
I think he's supposed to be in a new the Star Trek series now, but I don't know. I'll see.
Amar Howard been in some stuff, man. He been in the movie with J-Lo.
He is. You're right. He's supposed to be in a new Star Trek movie or I don't know if it's a movie or a show. But
I don't know what it is.
It says it's supposed to come out next year. It's called Star Trek.
Get his money he's supposed to get because he sure didn't get it with Power.
It's called Star Trek Section 31.
Michael Rainey Jr. and Joseph Sikora gonna get it done. They paid them already. But y'all see soon.
Yeah.
All right. So that is our show. So thanks for coming out. Thank you for coming out, y'all. God bless and have a good night, y'all.
me up in that